Hello guys and welcome back. This episode will make or break this whole season. Because last episode the East Asian Socialist Union has won a war against the Mexican Imperium and it wasn't even close. But what does the peace deal look like? This map is the agreed upon map. Firstly, the East Asian Socialist Union has expanded into the Greater Pacific Socialist Union and a new member has joined. That being New Oceania. They now have the conditions to win the whole series if they can get to Mars. But I don't think I have to explain the rest of the peace deal because just look at the map. I think we all know what happened here. Anyways, let's see this episode's submissions. Let's start with Finland, who doesn't really exist. This is what they want. Economy. We will produce weapons like anti-air and anti-tank to supply our units, so we can stop the air raids and the tanks from Russia. Internal. We will rebuild all the damage from the air raids, so we can stop the Russians' military. We will take all the land that Russia took, and then we will hold the line against Russia. Diplomatic. We will surrender to the anti-imperium alliance. Science. We will try to find the cure to cancer. Yeah, Finland, you don't exist anymore and what you submitted were just hopes and dreams. While a cure for cancer would be amazing. Don't get me wrong. I just don't see a way for you to get it. But thanks for playing Finland. Now we go around to Germany, who still exists but barely. I would begin to build a nuclear and air defense system across Berlin. Also, I would recruit 3,000 new troops to the army. I would begin to create more factories to expand the number of goods and also trade with other nations to get more goods to help the economy. Germany, did you know that nukes don't exist anymore? Hahaha. Anyways, Berlin would see better economic days. Not too much to say. On to Argentina. Military. I will recruit 100,000 troops with the land I gained from WW4 scientific research. We will finish the laser and armor I was researching with Mexican tech and other resources. We will only give the armor and lasers to high-ranking troops. Economic. We will start an economic program to help rebuild Mexico's economy a bit, since MAGA-FIT allowed us to help Mexico. The program will help rebuild Mexico's economy and send food and other important supplies to Mexico. We will also build factories for the armor and the lasers I researched. Bonus action that will affect nothing. We will honor everybody in my country who fought and died during WW4. They have something more as well. I will just let it play out. This is Plan Poderosa. It will make my union more stable and look less like Austria-Hungary 2.0. Not like Austria-Hungary at all. Possibly. Internal part. Create more subdivisions. Like Argentina and Brazil are subdivisions controlling their own land and have the subdivision borders based on culture. I hope this will make my union more stable and less likely to collapse. Promote different cultures in schools and do other stuff to promote every culture in the union. I will also give every culture a holiday to try to make my country more stable and tie every culture closer together and strengthen the country. We will change our name to Poderosa Union, so this union doesn't look very biased to Argentina and Brazil. It will also make us unique and less likely to collapse. The union will act like a bunch of countries in one alliance helping each other out in more than one country to increase the stability rate. We will host many more events, like football and anything cultural, that the other subdivisions do, a lot more often to increase happiness in the country and stability in the country. We will have a new flag of the Poderosa Union, so the union does not look biased to Argentina and Brazil. Diplomatic part 1 will try to unite with Amazonia and Peru and I will tell them the many benefits of joining me. Even though we will most likely be close, it will be easier to defend their land if they join me, and how much of an improvement it will be if they join us. For everyone. I will also annex my puppet, Bolivia, since they will most likely want to be with me, and to also make the borders cleaner in South America. Argentina will experience some great South American unity. Anyways, onto the Great Pacific Socialist Union. Diplomatic. Representatives from the ESU will take over positions of power in the Argentinian-Brazilian Union to aid it during the transition to independence from the Mexican Imperium, and we will put forth a poll in the nation, asking whether they would be open to the idea of joining the ESU as either a territory under one of the premiers, or as a premier themselves, an East Premier as it would be. Though the North Premier would have to be consulted for a new premier to be formed, Internal, the Argentinian spy service will be integrated into the BIN, Baden Intelligent Negara, and the organization will put their full focus on locating the Mexican emperor and all his loyalists. Military. Our military will engage in special military operations in territories suspected of housing the emperor, including 2 islands located off the coast of China. We will gain this information via the BIN, with the goal of taking him alive to be tried for several crimes, most notably including the plans to take over the world and evading the law. Economic. We will put large funding into the BIN as well as our top rocket scientists, engineers, and biologists R&D. We will begin the Demeter project. We will send several dozen humanoid robots and rovers to the surface of Mars with the goal of terraforming an area, roughly the size of Luxembourg, into a habitable zone covered in a large dome. They will be provided with several bags of seeds, especially including grains, so we may test the ability to grow plants, including trees, on other planets. This should take several years, but considering our attempts over the last 10+ years to get people to live on other celestial bodies, this may very well be possible. We will seek Japanese, American, Russian, and Chinese assistance in these efforts. We will also make use of the alien tech acquired from the war to aid this effort. Bonus. The leader of Finland will be put on trial for the same crimes as the emperor, though as they turned themselves in, they will not be at risk of being charged for evading the law. This would go very well for them as they would get to Mars as soon as the year 2058 hits, thus officially winning the series. The work they have done to stop the Mexican Imperium has caused much more peace in the world and has stopped aggression by tenfold. But we are not done yet. We will still cover New Oceania. New Oceania begins to send troops into CHAD and overthrow the current government while publicly declaring it to be an anti-dictatorship overthrow. The CHAD is currently a territory of New Oceania until further actions are decided. We would begin to reinforce all our borders with bases and outposts while funding our military research to improve alien technology integration as well as weapons and ammunition production. New Oceania would also send troops to Bulgaria's border in Africa with no intent of hostility. This would be actually good because Chad was heading down a bad route, so New Oceania saved them from a bad civil war.